Good morning, folks. All that backlighting is natural lighting, so I'm just going to let the sun shine in. I've been wanting for a while to make a video for you telling you what a real doctor is because most of you don't understand it. I want you to know something. Even when I was in graduate school, I had trouble with the concept myself. So pervasive is the big lie that we have going on in our culture that even though I was in graduate school to become a psychologist, I still had trouble explaining the nature of the doctorate. Before I get into that, though, I want to discuss my new political party here. I put a little V for tiny victory or private victories, which matter more than anything else. I mean, if you want to have big victories in your life, in public, you got to wage war. Here, you have to have some private victories under your belt before you go out there to fight. And when our brother Saul, got hit with a bolt of lightning, he went into seclusion. Not 2 years, 2 decades. He read his Bible for 2 decades before he went into public. So it wasn't instant. You get hit with a bolt of lightning and you speak these magic words and you're saved. I don't believe that. I like the analogy of I turned myself over. And we're going to go to war here. We're going to take this island. We're going to send in the Marines and we're going to fight it out. Because that's what ends up happening is you become a battleground. You do not just speak the magic words, say the magic potion, and suddenly you're saved. That's all you got to do. Oh, no, baby. No, I don't know. Maybe it can happen to somebody, but it doesn't happen that way to me, man. It was a knockdown, drag-out fight. It took decades. I went forward at age 15. Drifted away pretty far. Got into another tradition. One that was in opposition to a large extent. Had to deal with the different value systems, I hate to say diverse perspectives, and resolve those. So there was a bit of a conflict there for me. So Tennyson may say, the East and the West, never the twain shall meet. But I became a battleground there as well. Then my parents were arguing. Mom started the fights. She was too hard on Dad. Dad was total gentleman. So I became a battleground in that sense as well. That was a very ugly situation. Some of you out there might know what I'm talking about. If you do, I feel for you. That ain't an easy road. I'll never forget when my mother said, we wanted to help you, but we didn't know what to do. And I actually exercised some tact, and I did not say what I thought. And I wanted to say to Mom, did you ever think that you might have been the problem? How do you say that to your mother? In a loving fashion? I kept my mouth shut. They thought I was dying. They were praising me. Nobody else in the family had ever earned a doctorate. They were talking highly of me. Damn, I never felt so uncomfortable in my life. They didn't do that with me before. There was no praise. Oh, these B's. Work a little harder. Those should be A's. What? It's not good enough? Took the wind out of my sails. Let's go over your grades. Boy, that happened more often than Santa Claus came. Oh, yeah. Every time grades come out, you had to sit down with Dad and go over the grades. I hadn't thought about that in a while, but it was like a ceremony. It was a tradition. It was supposed to be motivating, but all it did was take the wind out of my sails. Made me feel horrible. Worthless, because that's all I ever heard. My parents would argue, ping pong me back and forth. Go ask your mother, go ask your father. If you don't do what I say, you're worthless. You're going to do what I say, you're never going to amount to anything. And they fought, and I was their battleground. I'm going to refrain from saying one of those things that I say that's it could be regarded as disrespectful towards my parents, and there is a saying about that. I think it's one of the 10 suggestions. You call them suggestions. It's called the 10 Commandments. I like what they're called in the apocryphal books even better. The laws of life. Those give life. Those give you blessings. Read about the blessings. Double witness in the big book. Deuteronomy and Leviticus. Read the blessings for obedience. Read the rewards for obedience. They're pretty great, but they're only half as long as the curses, as the consequences for disobedience. Read that. That's America today. It is on the path of destruction, sheer, utter destruction. Ain't no stopping it, baby. You want to stop it? Well, I'd like to stop it. At least slow it down a little bit more. I think we can stop it. Okay, I'm going to hawk my wares. You get one of my Bibles, or you read the Bible you have. What's the right version of the Bible? The one you read. If you're not reading my Bible, I don't care as long as you're reading a Bible. I think you're cutting yourself a little short. I think if you're stuck in the King James, then you're going to get a little wiggy, have a little religiosity. You're going to make assumptions that aren't proper and valid. I know, been there, I've done that. And I'm trying to open myself up to these other perspectives of my bigger brothers that have been reading longer than I have. And they understand it better. And they've been very, very kind to me in explaining things to me. I'm a little bit retarded. I'm slow. It takes me a while. And by the way, their views are profoundly different than what's in the big box churches. Matter of fact, they're different than most of the rest of the alternative Christian identity folks. I hate the moniker. I guess the doctors go on the back burner today. What do I need you to do? I need you to pray. My motorhome turned out to have a major problem, and I got to fix it right. It's really important. If I want to get full use and reestablish the value, and I need to do it, it's a survival thing at this point. It's not just aesthetics. It's not just an investment. It's survival. So I got to raise some money, about $12,000 more. I thought I'd be getting this rig on the road for, well, I was hoping 50,000, then I was hoping 55, then I was hoping 60,000. Then I figured, man, it's going to take a whopping 70 grand. And then I realized that's going to be about 80. Right now I'm thinking I'd be happy at 80 if it's all finished out. Because otherwise it really was a very poor investment. Still, I like the decor. I like the floor plan. I like it. I like it a lot. There's some others that I like the bathrooms in better, but I like the middle entrance, and I like the maple woods. Nice and light and airy. Very uplifting, cheery. My wallet's got beaten up, but, it's just money. Of course, you and I know there's no real money anyway. It's just what they give us. It's pretty sad. Get ready, folks. They can pull anything they want on us. Anything. Most of you are going to go with it. Most people are going to buy the government lies and the television lies, the tele-lies, and the lies of the conservative talk show hosts who are getting checks from the CIA Mockingbird program, who are syndicated because of that, or even guys who own radio stations because the CIA bought and paid for them. Yeah, my old station, KFNX. The guy is definitely a front for the CIA. And Dan Bongino, he's one of those jackasses. They lie. And they keep telling the lies. They believe the lie themselves, and they insist you believe the lie. What's that lie? Oh, there's an Israel-Hamas war. Israel and Hamas are waging war against America. That's the fact. That's the truth. You see, Hamas is a subsidiary of Israel, having been founded by their Mossad and being totally controlled by Israel. That's all staged shit. Staged so they can draw more money from our coffers and eventually sacrifice the blood of our troops. Only this time it's going to be more women than men. I hope you're proud of yourself. Oh, sadly, my housekeeper's truck is broken. Man, I pay her enough. I wish she could get a better truck. Man, I thought they were up on it. Whatever you have, maintain it. Why? Because prices are going to drop for a little while. And they're going to bounce off the bottom. And we're going to see a boing. Prices going into outer space like on a rocket. I figure we got 3 or 4 months where prices will drop. And everybody's going to be hunky-dunky, whatever. But it's just hokey-pokey. They're going to be lovey-dovey for a few months. It ain't going to last. Now, the BvD party. Let's talk about that. Originally, you saw BD for benevolent dictator. Well, now there's a little V in the middle of there. It's lowercase v, by the way. I'm not trying to rob somebody's underwear label. BvDs. Yeah. We got dirty underwear. It's time to change underwear. Your politicians are stinky dirty. All that money that goes abroad, a lot of it coming right back to them, baby. My God, the Ukraine was the biggest laundry job, the biggest heist in history. And they ain't done yet. And Israel gets a blank check because that's your golden calf, baby. Those are the people that you worship. That's right. That's your God. It's not Yahweh. It's not Yeshua. Not at all. You're worshiping the jerks. The jerks that seek to destroy you. And you empower them every day. You work for your own demise. Yeah, BvD, V, for tiny victory. That's all I want. Why? In therapy, when I got a little victory for a client, man, they were so jazzed, so motivated, and they realized at that point, I could do this. And that's what I wanted. I wanted them to say they could do it. I don't want them saying, Dr. Kent can do this. What the heck, man? I want them independent. Do you want to be independent, or do you still want to be a vassal state of Great Britain, which is Babylon today? You've got a king in Babylon. He's been enthroned, coronated on the same stones that Jeremiah spoke over in Egypt. Same damn rock. But it ain't the same book. It ain't the book of the law. What book was he coronated king upon? Oh, let's bring out the show. Let's put a big show on stage here. We'll do a magic trick. Like the Magi, like the lowest level of the satanic church, Magi. So we'll do a little hocus pocus and we'll have them bedazzled. Oh yes, by God, they will not know what has hit them. They will not know what this fellow swore allegiance to. It sure wasn't the Holy Bible. Prince Charles exclaimed he would never be coronated on that book. It's okay, good girl. That's right. I don't know what book it was. I wasn't there. I wasn't privy to the stage handling or his handlers. But I do have my own handler for when I become president. She's kind of nice. She's, I don't know, gawky in some ways and awkward. But bare bones, honest and in your face. Not politically correct. A little uncouth. Definitely not your standard issue. Gave birth to her last child in a doggone swimming pool or something, from what I understand. She did that burning underwater stuff. Way cool. I read about that when I was a little boy. That's the way to do it, ladies. Easier on you and easier on the child. I didn't ask her about that. That's not my domain. It's not my territory. She's not my wife. I mean, I should ask her about it because she's the only one I know that's ever done it. I should ask her soon just so I could find out about that. But she's very busy, and I am, and you are as well. So I thank you for joining me. I really do. I'm so glad you're here. What do we need to do? America's underwear is stinky dirty. We need to change underwear. Somebody said that politicians are like dirty diapers. They need to be changed often. Look, what you got going in Washington, D.C. is total warfare against you. They're fighting against their enemy. We are the enemy of our own government. Don't kid yourselves. You don't have to worry about the Russians. You don't have to worry about the Chinese much. You need to worry more about the Israelis. And you need to worry a lot more about your own government and about the city of London, inside London, and the Vatican inside Rome. You got to worry about those. If you want a good imagery of it, a good visual of it, I suggest you go get a copy of the Apocrypha, and I suggest that you get into 2 Esdras, chapter, is it 11 or 14? 2 Esdras 11, I believe, is it. I don't remember. I haven't opened it in a while. But go look up Esdras, which is the Latinized version of the name Ezra, for the same prophet Ezra that's in the main Bible. Ezra continued the work that Daniel stopped short on. Daniel got to see some of it, was told, don't write it down, Daniel, it's for the end times. We are at the end times. There's no problem with it. It's not the end of the world. It might be the end of the world for you and me, but you knew that was going to happen. You knew that we were born and destined to die. But the earth gives birth to new life. The earth recycles itself from all the bullshit we do to it. The earth also shakes us off like fleas in the back of a dog